After 200 amazing hours in Elden Ring, I was beyond excited for Nightreign. I mean, more Elden Ring content, I was ready to dive into a new game. And a whole new standalone game for $40, not just the DLC? Okay, let's see where this is going. I was very excited. Based on early impressions, what everyone was saying in the network test and the 2 days before, it sounded like it was overhyped. It was kind of mid, and maybe even a little confusing and too far from the normal Elden Ring. Luckily though, I was actually wrong, and I'm kind of glad I was. I went in completely blind. I only saw the announcement from the Game Awards. That's the only thing I saw prior to this, which, very cool announcement. I was so hyped. But one day I check my phone and I see, oh, the game is coming out tomorrow? Bam! I was so excited. I hit my pre-order, and once the game came out, I jumped right in. At first, it feels like it was a DLC. They got a little too ambitious and then slowly evolved into a standalone experience. And there's so many changes to the game. The biggest change, the game is built around 45-minute runs instead of the big open world. That one shift, it changes the game completely. In Nightreign, you don't run your usual build. It's not your usual create a character and run. You have 8 pre-made classes, or characters as some could say, each with their own unique playstyle, mainly focusing on a certain weapon and certain aspect of Elden Ring. You got like the strong strength melee character, you have the mage, the bow and arrow, the usual. You get to choose what boss you want to tackle, kind of like a Monster Hunter. You get to choose one of the 8 bosses to start your run and try to beat. You head out solo or with a squad of 3. No duos, which is very weird, and I don't know how they messed that up, not including duos, but we're going to ignore that for now. You journey into Limveld, some kind of alternate reality or parallel world or a pocket dimension. I'm honestly still not sure, but it doesn't matter. We're not here for the lore anyway. Some of us are, and there is slight story here, slight smidgen with each character and beating the game and whatnot, but the real meat is the gameplay. The game works in runs, or as I should say, nights. You and your team start out on day 1, going through the land, leveling up, clearing areas, and fighting mini bosses. After day 1, you go on to day 2 and do the same thing. Adventure around, trying to build up your character, preparing for the final night. Throughout these days, the circle is getting smaller and smaller, trying to push you in certain directions, so you have to tackle certain things in a certain order if you want the most optimized run. Finally, you're at the 3rd night with a weird entrance to the boss room. There's a lovely arena entrance. I was kind of blown away the first time I saw it. And once you win, the run's complete. That's pretty much a basic run. Rinse and repeat. There's some other ways because they want to make this a roguelike, right? So how is this a roguelike? Well, there's no crazy attributes in this one, like no crazy rewards that are completely... They're clearly trying. They had to spice up the gameplay some way, I feel like, and this was the way to do that. Even if it's light, it's still a really fun inclusion. There's also some more roguelike elements, which before each run, you can choose up to 3 relics for each character. Each relics that can modify the game stamina regen every time you attack a couple of times, or every time you hold up your shield, you get aggro and they come towards you. It's not crazy things, but small things that can actually change the way you play that character and the type of build. But there's nothing crazy blowing out of the water. That's what a bunch of these roguelike elements in this game are. Nothing crazy, just enough to where you feel like, okay, they're doing something to spice it up. I didn't really like the class system. I knew Dark Souls and Elden Ring. I wanted to build up my character. I didn't know where this was going to go. Into maybe they wanted to start selling us skins, or people were talking about battle passes. I was getting pretty nervous. But once I played, I think it finally clicked. You're forced to experiment with these builds you probably never even touched before. Like an example, the Archer, a complete joke in Elden Ring. But in Nightreign, you have infinite ammo, and you have a special melee attack that can give crit, and you can just give actual damage. There's so many fun ways. Infinite ammo, crit dash, you're a passive damage machine. You're really useful now. Each character has their own unique usefulness that you can bring into a run. I feel like each character is viable. The map feels like they pulled straight from Elden Ring, and you can tell everywhere it looks just like extremely familiar, and I feel like they just had no other option. They wanted to just pump out a game where you can focus on your build, yeah, so what? They grabbed a bunch of their old assets. Every boss that's been already put in this map has an addition to their moveset or some type of thing like that, to where, okay, it's at least they put some effort into it. And another big one, there is no in-game communication besides emoting and pinging. That's it. And you can't even see when someone emotes, so you really only get someone massively rage pinging because they want you to go somewhere, or you get the one player that just turns the leader because they're pinging first and everyone else is just following. There needs to be any type of chat system, whether that be an actual chat or even like a preset thing like Rocket League. Something has to happen there. But what can I say? Even after completing the game, I still find myself going back for more. It hit me once I got the build thing, and once I changed builds and had a different struggle on the same boss, I realized what the game was about you can have a build and it'll tackle a certain boss a completely different way. So the game wants you to just keep playing, swapping characters, and take on different bosses. I feel like I'm mastering each boss with each character, and it feels so cool. I love that aspect of it. Like, that seems what the game is all about. Quick, build-focused experiments in a fast-paced loop. You're grabbing your team, going here, going there, and you're smoking people. It's $40, so you can definitely tell. I get a lot of people talking about the reused assets and what, but for $40, I'll take this solid spin on Elden Ring. It's fun, replayable, and you know what? I like it.